Welcome to The Sound, KQAL FM's weekly behind-the-scenes look at Midwestern-made music. From writing and recording to distribution and promotion, The Sound is your source for new releases and exclusive interviews from Midwestern artists. Support for The Sound is made possible by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Rolling. Tonight on The Sound, we bring you the latest gem from Cole Diamond, titled Trailer Park Troubadour. Cole Diamond is a Minneapolis treasure, and his latest EP is a shining example of good writing, good taste, and down-home good vibes. The EP starts out with a cover of Where Corn Don't Grow, originally done by Waylon Jennings, and it only gets better from there. If you haven't heard Cole Diamond yet, then Trailer Park Troubadour is a great place to start. I'm Bill Stoneberg, here to ask the tough questions like, are diamonds really a girl's best friend? Stick around and maybe you'll find out as we bring you Trailer Park Troubadour, the latest EP from Cole Diamond, tonight on The Sound.
If that's the case, you must really love me. As we sat on the front porch of that old gray house where I was born and raised, staring at the dusty fields where Daddy worked hard every day. Well, I think I kinda hurt him when I said, Daddy, there's a life that I don't know. But don't you ever dream about a life out there where corn don't grow. He just sat there in silence, staring at his favorite coffee cup. I saw a storm of mixed emotions in his eyes when he looked up. He said, son, I know at your age it seems like this world is turning slow, and you'll think you'll find the answers to it all where corn don't grow. Hard times are ringing, there's dusty fields, and no matter where you go, you may change your mind, 'cause the weeds are high where corn don't grow.
That was Where Corn Don't Grow, and that is a track off the latest EP by Cole Diamond called Trailer Park Troubadour. And I have Mr. Cole Diamond on the phone with us tonight. Cole, or Ryan, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah. It's all right if I call you Ryan, right?
That's all right.
All right, sounds good.
All right with me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been about, I think, maybe 2 years since I've had you on the show. I love the new EP, man. Oh my God. And you start off here with Where Corn Don't Grow, which I know from Waylon Jennings.
Yep.
I know Travis Tritt has done it as well. And I was looking up, and then I Googled it to see if anyone else had, and I noticed there's a few other covers hanging out there too in recent years. But what was the decision? This is the first cover I think I've heard you do like on record. What went into deciding to do this song? Why did you want to do this tune particularly?
Well, this one in particular, I guess, I wasn't too familiar with the song, and we were playing a wedding, and the couple wanted us to play this song.
Oh, wow.
And it's just a cool song. I mean, it's a great song. And so, that was kind of the whole start of it, where I was like, I love Waylon, and I forget who wrote it, but, there's a lot of other songs that the duo that wrote, that I'm
right.
like, oh, it makes sense. Like, these are the people that are behind all the songs I like. No wonder I like this one.
Right? Totally.
We did a cover on the first EP that we did, Late Nights, Early Mornings. We did a cover of a Stooges song.
Oh, did
No
you
Fun.
Really?
Yeah.
My God.
We did a countrified Stooges No Fun.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that's what that was until just now. Holy crap. Oh my God, I'm kind of embarrassed, man.
It sounds different when you sing it with your shirt on opposed to with your shirt off. So
right. Especially if you got pearl buttons, that's like a totally different thing then, than
exactly
than Iggy. And oh my God, that's cool, man. How cool. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that again. Man, I'm thinking we should include that in this too, because I don't think we included that in the last one. I don't know. Anyway, well, that's super cool, man. And I think you did a great job of this tune as well, Where Corn Don't Grow.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I'm a big Waylon Jennings fan. I dig his version, but I did look into the Travis Tritt. I'm like, oh, Travis Tritt doing that. That's perfect for him. Like, this is a perfect song for him, and I think a perfect song for you as well. Before I start gushing about that crap, let's play another tune here, and we'll come back and talk some more about that. I'm talking to Ryan Oddie, or Cole Diamond, here tonight, and the latest album is called Trailer Park Troubadour. It's an EP. Came out in June of this year, of 24. We've got a bunch of tunes to play off of that for you, and we'll be back to talk more. This tune is called Pieces of the Heart. And it's from Trailer Park Troubadour by Cole Diamond. And you're listening to it on the sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
So now I'm picking up the pieces of my heart. The way it broke, I'm gonna need a chart. And once I finally get it back together, I'll be ready for the next heartbreak to start. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. If that's the case, you must really love me. Well, I keep hope alive, you'll come back someday. But I don't think that's the way it's gonna be. So now I'm picking up pieces of my heart. The way sat here at this bar for way too long, contemplating all the scenarios in my head, and going home to both sides of the bed. So now I'm picking up the pieces of my heart. The way it broke, I'm gonna need a chart. And once I finally get it back together, I'll be ready for the next heartbreak to start. I'll be ready for the next heartbreak to start. I'll be ready for the next heartbreak to start.
That was Pieces of My Heart, and that is from Cole Diamond's latest EP called Trailer Park Troubadour. And I have Mr. Cole Diamond, or Ryan Oddie, on the phone with me tonight. Ryan, so, the first tune we were talking about, Waylon Jennings cover and stuff. This tune, man, like, this is an original, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And this one, like, gives me big, like, Bakersfield vibes,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I noticed on your Bandcamp page it says that you're a mix of vintage rock and roll and outlaw country, which that totally fits with this tune,
Yeah.
Is the Bakersfield sound, and specifically this one totally reminds me of Dwight Yoakam, man. I can't lie. It's just awesome. Super awesome. I think that's great. Is that sound and like the Bakersfield sound, is that a big influence on you?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, probably one of the biggest ones. I'd say it's hard for me. I was actually just talking with a friend of mine the other night. We do this, or I do this DJ night every month at a bar here in Minneapolis and just play a bunch of country music. And
Nice.
I tend to notice a lot of the songs I'm picking have that kind of that Bakersfield, that, Bucko and Shuffle, kind of. And I just love, I don't know, just that particular feel of country, that vibe
Right.
is just, I don't know. It's hard for me to not try and write every song in that form, so
Right,
I got to be conscious of it and kind of be like, not every song can sound like this or have that same, beat to it. So,
Right.
but no, I love it. I mean, everything Bakersfield is A-okay in my book.
Very cool, man. Very cool. And I honestly, I think it really suits you too. I think you do a good job of that. I think it really fits,
Thank you.
I mean, dang, man. I mean, we could pluck you out of Minnesota and drop you off there, and I think you'd fit right in. You know what I mean? Totally.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, sometimes I kind of feel like, I don't know if you've ever watched that show, Documentary Now. It's like a comedy spoof. It's like Fred Armisen and I think Bill Hader from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, wow.
They kind of do they do these spoof documentaries.
Okay.
But there was one that they did about this fake band called the Blue Jean Committee, and they're like these Chicago guys, but they're doing this very like yacht rock kind of Catalina mixer type music, but they've never been to California. They've never been on a sailboat,
Right.
And sometimes that's kind of how I feel when I'm copying some of these, like Bakersfield sounds and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I'm kind of about as far away from it as you can be. But,
Right. Totally. Totally. But, I mean, it all mixes and mingles through albums and streaming and radio and stuff. Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool. I was going to ask you about that, like, genre. Do you ever, you mentioned, not all the tunes can sound like Bakersfield, which I think is debatable. I mean, they could.
Right, exactly.
Do you ever think about, like, how hard do you think about that? Like, ooh, I need to make this sound different, or, is that something you think about, like genre and how the tune is going to end up?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think, like, me being a drummer before I was a songwriter, like, I kind of think of things in the beat,
Oh, cool.
I mean, I don't, and maybe it's like the total wrong way to do it, but unfortunately it's the only way I know how to do it currently.
Right.
So whatever works, but a lot of times, I'm just kind of looking at like what the BPM, like, how do I want this song to feel?
Right.
Maybe before I actually start thinking of the lyrics and stuff, it's like, I kind of want to do like a Bakersfield, right? Like Buck Owens kind of Dwight Yoakam tune, or do I want to do like maybe a more, like a Alabama sounding kind of more produced type song, or is it going to be, more of a ballady type song? So there's a lot of that part I think that I look into or start thinking about even before I'm like actually writing the song. Just kind of like, what do I want the song to feel like, or what's the vibe of it?
Right. Oh, that's cool, man. That's very cool. That's really interesting because I do a little bit of writing myself, and I came up as a bass player, so I totally understand what you're saying, because that's how I write. Like I write by like the feel of the rhythm section, like where that's what guides the tune for me. Oh, that's cool to hear. I like that. Is that part of, like, I noticed on Bandcamp also it says that, like, on all your tunes it says self-produced, and then you have people listed as engineering and mixing and things like that. Is that part of the producing process, or is that strictly a writing thing? How much of the two intermingle?
Yeah, I guess, right, the production, I'm still kind of at a loss of like what producing is, but I guess if it is like the overall theme or sound, how you want the guitars. Do you want it to sound newer? Do you want it to sound older? Do you want to have like that gated snare drum, like 80s sound, or do you want it to be more like sounding like a Sun Records recording? I kind of feel like that is what producing is. Right. So I guess in that aspect, it is kind of self-produced, because generally going into the recording session, I've kind of already demoed songs to the best of my ability. Right. And just kind of, and a lot of times too, I'll give some specifics of like, oh, here's this Rodney Crowell song. I like how it sounds. Nice. Not necessarily like the song, but like the production, totally. And I'll have like some notes like that. So, it would be cool to have a producer, a Rick Rubin type fellow or something like that, who could just be the, oversee the whole thing, but not quite there yet. Right. I don't know if we're making that Rick Rubin money quite yet. Right.
Oh, I hear you though. It'd be nice to have someone who just wears that hat, because it's hard to do all the things yourself. Well,
really and you get too close to it, or you're just not thinking of it. But a lot of it'll be like, oh, well, maybe like a cool, baritone guitar, like a weird little kind of Twin Peaks, reverby kind of thing would be cool in here. Just having people pick up stuff like that is always helpful, I think. And a lot of times, the other guys in the band will bring in, when they bring their parts in, will, do just that. Right. And have their own ideas of like, oh, maybe a dobro would sound cooler on this instead of a, pedal steel. Right. Totally. So when you're recording like that, do the tunes ever, you said you have them demoed out, so they're pretty fleshed out, but like, do they change then ever when you're like hanging out with the band in the studio and playing them and recording them? Does it ever evolve into like, oh, wow, let's go down that direction, Oh, for sure. Like I said, when I'm demoing them, it's usually pretty limited as far as like, I'll have my kind of a spot where like, here's where I think a solo should go, and I'll do my best, my version of what a guitar solo is. But, whenever we actually start playing it and everyone is doing what they're good at on the song, then it does kind of change the feel. And, maybe Andrew, the drummer, he'll have a different idea for, instead of doing a halftime, or, he'll kind of mix it up a little bit on that. And it does kind of bring a different life or, a different feel to the song, which sometimes is good. Sometimes maybe it's like, we tried it. Like, let's maybe go back. And then revert back to, But that's just it. You have to be open to trying it, right? Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. Well, let's get into another tune here. Man, I dig this album. I'm looking for, we'll talk more. I'm looking forward to some things in the future here. I'm here talking to Cole Diamond tonight, otherwise known as Ryan Oddie. Cole Diamond has a new EP out called Trailer Park Troubadour. We're playing through that tonight for you, and a couple other tunes. This next one here is called Shine a Light on Me, and you're listening to it on The Sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
a straightaway, you find another curve. This world keeps getting stranger. Is it true or does it sound like something old people say? But when the world gets a little bit dark and I need someone to help me see, you shine a light on me. Shine a light on me. This time keeps getting smaller. All the stores are closed and nothing's gonna take their place. These bills keep getting larger. Is it me or does a dollar not do the same as yesterday? But when the world gets a little bit dark and I need someone to help me see, you shine a light on me. Shine a light on me. You shine a light on me.
That was Shine a Light on Me, and that is off the latest EP from Cole Diamond called Trailer Park Troubadour. And I have Ryan Oddie, otherwise known as Cole Diamond, on the phone with me tonight. Ryan, so this tune, Shine a Light on Me, you know, we were talking about like being in the studio and how you create these tunes. This one reminds me of like 70s rock, man, or maybe even 60s,
totally.
You know, with that guitar solo in there. There's that fuzzy guitar.
Yep.
Is there a tambourine in there also?
Yeah, there's got to be.
There's
got to be some tambourine. That's always the fun part, I guess, is like a buddy of mine who has a studio. He's got this big box of, it's called like the box of percussion don'ts.
Oh, cool.
And, you know, it's just like, you know, it's all that stuff. You know,
Right.
and it's like the things where it's like at the very end of the recording, you're like, all right, let's get out that, you know, kid's xylophone and throw some stuff on there. And you can really get into the weeds.
I love it. I love it. That's probably where the hand claps come in too, you know, at that stage. Yep. Right.
But yeah, this song, it definitely was kind of more of, I was thinking more of like a, maybe less of a country influence, and I mean maybe more like that Flying Burrito Brothers kind of more cosmic, you know, even like the Byrds or Tom Petty or something like that. But
yep. That's what I heard.
With the backwards, the steel solo is a backwards solo, so you got to do that every once in a while.
So that's a steel guitar backwards with fuzz on it?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That is super cool.
Yeah, there's I forget what the song was. I want to say it's maybe like a Dwayne Eddy song, but Dwayne Eddy, like, he's a instrumental guitar guy. But I mean, he always had these really cool fuzz sounds, which I mean, it sounded like, I think the old, like Link Ray trick of, like you slice up your speaker and your amp and then it just naturally is like distorted.
Right.
But some of these fuzzes that those guys back in like the 50s were using, where it's not even a pedal. I mean, yeah, it is like an amp with a pencil in the speaker, and it's like the sound is so aggressive, like where it's not even like pleasant, but
right, but it works.
I kind of like some of those fuzz sounds where it's just like, this sounds like something's going wrong. This shouldn't be happening.
Right. Well, that's pretty rock and roll too, when it feels like it might fall apart or something's wrong, totally. You're walking the edge, That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. Speaking of like those old guys, Link Ray and Dwayne Eddy, what artists do you listen to? Like, what inspires you, or maybe what are the new artists you listen to?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was actually just talking with someone about this the other night at that DJ night I do. But it's funny when people are like, I don't know if I really like country or not, and it's like you probably do. You just don't really like what, no offense on the radio here, but you don't like what like top 40, radio is maybe serving up.
Well, this is college radio, man. We're totally different. So
yeah, right. Exactly. And, so, there's a lot of new country out there that's good that you're not going to hear on, top 40 country radio or even like an alternative station or whatever. But like an artist like Zach Top, I mean, he's really great. He's a new guy. He's really like got a 90s flavor and super good guitar player, great songwriter, great singer.
Cool.
Who was I just listening to? Jesse Daniel, he's got a new album out. He's awesome. Emily Nenny, she's like a new artist. She's really good. I mean, kind of like anything, the underground or the more independent side of it, like there's tons of stuff. I mean, everything from, whatever, your Sturgill Simpson, who isn't so independent, I guess, anymore.
Sure.
But, he's a pretty big name. Charlie Crockett, some of those other people. Right. But on the grander scheme of things, they're no like Old Dominion or, Jason Aldean, they're not quite at that level where it's like, they're so popular, that they're playing big shows.
Yeah. There still might be a team behind them, but it's a much smaller team with,
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. More intimate.
So, I mean,
thing.
there is a lot of new stuff. The old stuff I dig is I do like a lot of that kind of old rock and roll, like the Dwayne Eddy and the Link Rays and things of that nature, Ventures,
cool.
Don Rich, just like some of the Don Rich, like his own stuff is super cool. And, but yeah, all the classics of country, obviously. I mean, I kind of found myself really getting into some of like the 80s, like some of the more, the cornier side of country, like the Shenandoahs the Exile and, things like that. And there's some of those bands where, it's very Hallmark Channel kind of country.
Right.
But, again, I kind of like some of the production and, it's like watching a movie that it's like so bad it's good sometimes where it's like, it's so corny that it kind of came back around again, and I'm like, I kind of like this actually.
Right. And there's always, like you said, you like the sound of it or this part or that part. There's always a piece that you can take away and go like that. Okay, that I can expand on that. I can use that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool stuff, man. Very cool. I'm going to play another tune here, and then we'll come back and talk some more. I want to get into more of like the content of the tunes here. This next one, I'm talking to Cole Diamond tonight. The latest EP is called Trailer Park Troubadour. We're playing through that for you. This is another track from that EP. It's called You're My Love Song, and you're listening to it right here on the Sound on 89.5 KQAL.
Remember first night we met in the glow of the neon lights. We started to connect, and the jukebox played our favorite song, and it didn't to realize where we both belong. 'Cause you're my love song, playing on repeat. That melody sweeps me off my feet as we dance through life to the steady beat. You're my love song, playing on repeat. Sometimes I find myself far away, scanning for that special song on the AM radio wave. You can guarantee it'll come in clear like the light on a sunny day. It'll guide me through the darkness all the way. 'Cause you're my love song, playing on repeat. That melody sweeps me off my feet as we dance through life, that steady beat. You're my love song, playing on repeat. You're my love song, playing on repeat. That melody sweeps me off my feet as we dance through life to that steady beat. 'Cause you're my love song, playing on repeat. 'Cause you're my love song, playing on repeat.
That was You're My Love Song, and that is off the latest EP from Cole Diamond. The album is called Trailer Park Troubadour, and I have Ryan Oddie, or Cole Diamond, on the phone with us tonight. Ryan, so this last song, so I wonder about your writing here. Like, is your writing... some people, make things up. It's fiction. Some people make kind of fiction based on their life experiences. Some people write true stories. Like, how do your songs come together? Are these true stories? This one sounds like it's pretty much from the heart, like a real life thing. Like, so how does that work for you when you put things down?
Well, this song, it's kind of funny. My wife and I, this is the song I wrote for my wife. She was always kind of on me. She's like, why don't you ever write me a song? And
nice.
I'm like, well, it's not that easy. We went to go see Lucas Nelson.
Okay, nice.
And Promise of the Real. And he had some song that he dedicated. And, so my wife was just kind of getting on my case about, she's like, you're always writing this song or that song. She's like, why can't you write a song for me? So that's kind of where this one came from, was,
cool.
Out of a dare almost.
That's not, like you said, that's not easy to do. That's a tough call, I think,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not, I guess maybe songwriting is still fairly new to me. I don't know if I would even, I hate using the word songwriter. I guess technically, yes, if you on paper, but I still don't feel that I have quite the grasp of it that other people do, or, if I'm just trying to be, hold myself up to some unattainable standard of your heroes and stuff, you're like, I'm never going to be able to do that.
Right.
But a lot of it just kind of comes about, I wish I had more time to do it, but just sitting around and noodling around on my guitar and, like what a lot of times, like I was saying before, I'll set up like a metronome to like just a BPM and just kind of let that go and, just kind of fiddle around until something kind of locks in and, start humming along, maybe come up with a melody and, you start kind of piecing together some words and, next thing you know, you kind of have a song.
Right. Right.
I don't know if I've ever been that person. I guess in this case, it was kind of very deliberate, but the people that can kind of sit down and they're, like skilled enough to just be like, okay, I want to write a song about this and it's going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a character and an arc and all that stuff. That's still kind of foreign to me. I'm still trying to get there, but having fun in the process.
Right. Well, and I think that's the name of the game, right? Is just, like they said, life is a journey, not a destination, right? And I think it's the same way with songwriting. Yeah. It's all just trying to get better at it, trying to figure it out, stuff like that.
Some people would say life is a highway.
Right. Totally. I was just going to say, we can't all be John Prine. We can't all be Dylan, we can't,
Well, exactly.
So, yeah, totally, man. Well, in this, because we're playing through this EP in order here. And so the next song also made me think like, okay, are these like life stories? Are they, this next one we're going to play is Locked Up for Life. Where'd the inspiration for that one come from?
I mean, that was definitely not a true story.
Right.
Or anything that happened to me. I mean, I guess as a younger person, I've had my run-ins with the law and probably, thankfully, for being under the age of 18, escaped having a felony on my record.
Right.
So, I guess I just think about that sometimes where it's like, what if, different circumstances, financially, racially, whatever, like I could have been in a very different boat than I am now, being able to like, just sit here and talk to you on the phone and, I don't know, but, it was kind of, I guess an exercise and just trying to write from outside and, try to experience something or, write about something that maybe you haven't experienced, but maybe came close to.
Right. Yeah. The what if,
way. Yeah, totally.
Totally, man. Totally. I think, I was kind of a wild, youngster myself and, troubles, and it makes you think, and I think we should all count our blessings that we're,
well, right. And unfortunately, some people maybe didn't get a chance to have a second chance or,
exactly.
Make a better life for themselves and made some bad decisions and kind of got to stick with them for possibly the rest of their life.
Right. Totally. And I think, in this, in songwriting and performing, things like that, like this tune, this is an experience you went through, but other people do. So I mean, do you ever think about that, like how your songs might affect other people and like give them hope or, or some sort of comfort,
Yeah, I mean, it is a cool idea. A lot of times, maybe I'm just like too self-deprecating to allow myself to believe that's true, but I definitely hope that would be, I mean, that's like the ultimate compliment, I think, of creating anything is to just have someone not only appreciate it, but like connect with it, and I think that's the hardest part with any art, photography, painting, music, whatever you're doing is like, you can do something and technically it looks good or sounds good, but like, does it actually resonate with someone or anybody or, does it mean something to someone, and if that answer can be yes, I mean, that's probably the coolest thing that can happen.
Totally. All right, so well, let's go ahead and play the tune for folks so they can hear what we're talking about here. I'm talking to Cole Diamond, otherwise known as Ryan Oddie. The latest EP is called Trailer Park Troubadour, and this is a tune off of that. It's called Locked Up for Life, and you're listening to it on The Sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
Safely
That was Locked Up for Life, and that's a tune off the latest EP from Cole Diamond called Trailer Park Troubadour. And I have Mr. Cole Diamond, otherwise known as Ryan Oddie, on the phone with me tonight. Ryan, so, we talked about your writing process, your recording process. In your recording process, you said everything's self-produced. I was also wondering, you talked about some indie artists, is this... is your stuff is all self-released, I'm assuming, as well, or is it on a label?
Yep.
And how do you think about that stuff? Like, do you think labels are important anymore at all, or, with streaming?
I mean, I guess it's probably important if you own a label, but
Sure. Right.
I don't know. I mean, there are, I don't know if it actually is important in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I think there's a lot of indie artists out there that are doing just fine on their own. Obviously you probably need to have some type of distribution and some type of management or a booking agent, someone to be able to take care of that side of the business.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like a label that's going to, get your song into Sam Goody or whatever,
right.
I don't know. Like it's kind of like, it seems, unless it's like the label is going to spend, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars trying to break you into the mainstream. But then again, that's like not for free. I mean, they're not doing that just out of the kindness of their heart. They're also good. You're paying for it as the artist.
Yep.
So I don't know, I think there's lots of probably, arguments for either side of it. I mean, if a label like, New West Records or Matador or Sub Pop called me, definitely I'd be like, yes, let's talk.
Right.
But it's easy to sometimes say like, I'm kind of an independent spirit when no one's really asking you to be a part of their team. So.
Right. Yeah, totally.
I can definitely be swayed to be a label guy. If Capitol is listening, no offense, please give me a call.
Right.
We'll talk.
Totally. But, I think there might be something to be said for, like a small label, like the labels you're mentioning, or smaller. I mean, those are all, big indies, but, But there's something to be said, I think, for a small, I don't want to say small, but like a smaller following or an independent following instead of a mainstream following. Like I read something the other day where it said mainstream fans are fickle and, fans of like independent music tend to stand by it more, tend to buy it without hearing it more, tend to, they'll buy a ticket for the show, they'll. So I think there's something to be said for that.
There's definitely, even it's not so much now because obviously you can just listen or hear everything before you buy it or, go see it.
Right.
But like more so when I was a young man back in the old days, where it's like, you'd buy something from like a label like SST or something and, or even Sub Pop when it was more of like a smaller indie label and you'd get the little catalog that came with it that had all the other stuff or, even if I was at a record store and, I see something else on a label that, is like Skin Graft Records or, something that I knew that it's like, oh, like Touch and Go. This label cares about something and they're curating a certain sound and thing and have a vision and you can kind of trust it, whereas if it's just on whatever, Capitol or, a major label, sometimes it could be anything. Yeah. But, and I don't know if that is such a thing that people look for anymore, but, I definitely still, like, if something's on New West Records, you kind of know it's like, oh, well, it's going to be, a certain level. Like, it's going to be along these lines.
Yeah, a certain level of quality. It's going to fit into this type of thing. Yeah, totally. It gives you a guide, which I think is helpful. It's nice. So your EP here, we're down to the last tune, I believe. Yeah. The EP it's heard on all its major streaming platforms. Let's see. You have a website as well, don't you?
ColeDiamondMusic.com.
ColeDiamondMusic.com. Okay. Is that where's the best place for people to find out about like show dates and get merch and stuff? Would that be the website?
Probably there. Yeah. ColeDiamondMusic.com. I try to keep that the most up to date and, merch and shows and, information about things coming up, videos, whatever.
Cool.
And then from there, you can, there's links to all the social media pages that you can go and like and follow and doom scroll through. So.
Right. Sure. What's next? What's on the horizon for Coal Diamond here?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I mean, just kind of continuing to play. Got a lot of shows, still left over the summer.
Nice.
But yeah, just keeping busy, trying to just play more. And, I don't know, maybe it's like an old school mentality, but it's just, it's something I like to do. And it's something that kind of gives me, fulfills that piece of me that needs to do something creative. And, I think the more you do it, it's just the better you get. It's like I'm always kind of very critical of, whatever, my singing or my guitar playing or whatever. So I'm like, I think the more I do it and the more you get in front of people and, you just get better at it. I think that's probably not a mind-blowing concept, but
right. Well, and you have fun in the process.
Well, totally. And, I guess sometimes it is hard, I think some bands are maybe just like waiting around for that perfect show to come around or, that perfect opportunity or this and that. And, well, I don't want to do this one because the pay isn't quite exactly what I want.
Right.
Or, da-da-da-da-da. And there's so many reasons to not do stuff. But then sometimes it's like, well, what if we just did?
Right.
Right. It's like, what could happen? And,
Yeah. Just roll your sleeves up and get in there, right?
Totally. Yeah,
totally.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm also aware that you're playing City Country Fest in September.
Yes.
Super excited for that. I'm going to head up there for that. I just talked to Jeffrey Robert Larson a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Funny story. I met him in Davenport, Iowa at a show.
Okay.
At a small bar down there, Raccoon Motel. Yeah. But so I'm super excited for that. I know you're playing that too. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff's a good friend of mine, so that's cool.
Oh, cool. So yeah, hopefully I'll get to meet you in person finally. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that's going to be a great show. Yeah, anyone interested, go get some tickets. And,
right.
It's always fun with those types of shows because it's like everyone that, sometimes you don't really get to see other bands when you're kind of always playing or doing stuff.
Right.
So it's kind of fun when everyone is in one spot and you can just kind of hang out and see everybody, see everyone that you don't really get to see all the time. So
totally.
Looking forward to that one.
Well, hey, man, we're running short on time here, so we should wrap this up. But thanks for being on the show again. Absolutely love the EP.
Oh, thank you.
So
awesome.
I'm looking forward. Oh, do you have physical copies? That's another thing I was wondering.
I did make some 45s, 7-inch record of Where Corn Don't Grow and Pieces of My Heart. So
cool.
I do have those available at shows. I didn't put them up on the website just because I don't really understand how to ship them to people.
Oh, so, okay, sure.
I figured my shipping department isn't quite up to speed yet.
Right.
So they're just kind of available at shows for the time being. So if you want one, come find me and I'd be happy to sell you one.
Excellent. I'm going to try to pick one of those up when I see you. That's funny. Maybe that's where the labels come in, huh? To ship things out.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I need to get some label help so they can ship my 7-inch records for me.
Totally. Well, all right, Ryan, we got to wrap this up. So, again, thanks so much for being on the show again. Absolutely love it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, anytime.
For sure. All right. I've been talking to Coal Diamond here, otherwise known as Ryan Oddie. The latest EP is called Trailer Park Troubadour. I highly recommend it. This last tune is called She's Gone. And you're listening to it on The Sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
Didn't have to read it to know what it said.
Thanks again to Cole Diamond for joining us tonight on The Sound. To hear more from Cole Diamond, check out ColeDiamondMusic.com. For more deep dives into local and regional albums, tune into The Sound every Wednesday night at 6 right here on 89.5 KQAL. You can also listen to past episodes on The Sound in your favorite streaming services. Find links at KQAL.org. I'm Bill Stoneberg, and we've just heard from Cole Diamond on The Sound. Thanks for listening to The Sound. The Sound is produced by KQAL-FM on the campus of Winona State University. Visit us online at KQAL.org. Theme music for The Sound provided by Mike Terrell of Fires of Denmark.